What is up, guys? Welcome. Crypto FUD. And let's jump right into this, guys. Holy shit. Holy crap. Holy smokes. Let's get into this, guys. Let's do this. I hope you guys aren't being scared out there. Whew. Chugging that energy drink so I can get some energy. Let's do this, guys. All right, welcome. Happy Thursday. Hope you guys are doing all right. You know, I know it's blood in the streets. We called this. Oh man. Not only did we talk about this yesterday, obviously it was already occurring, but damn, we called this in the members only stream on, I think it was Monday if I'm not mistaken, and I have been calling it since last week that we have been in a bear flag and that we were probably going to see some retracement, some retesting of some certain numbers, and it was inevitable that was going to happen. And I just remember people coming in here, not everybody, but some people were coming in here and basically telling me that I was completely off, right? Completely wrong, because their favorite YouTuber was telling them that they still had another 50x on their favorite coins, right? So they came in here and told me that I was wrong. You know, I was like, you know what? I hope I am. But as you guys can see, for right now, unfortunately, that bear flag has played into effect. For right now, it hasn't dropped as much as I really was thinking that we were going to see on this bear flag, particularly. Right now, Bitcoin is sitting at around 97,700. So we're gonna cover some spots here. We're gonna talk about some stuff here, guys. We're not gonna be all bearish. We're gonna talk about how this was honestly something the markets needed, right? Is it over with? Obviously, it's gonna be my opinion if this is yes or no. If it's over with, have you been buying, right? Have you been adding to your bags? Are you buying when people are scared? Did you sell off a week ago when I said? 2 weeks ago when I was saying we were getting top, signals for the top briefly, right? Do I still think that we're going to, continue to move towards the upside? We're going to cover all this. And if you honestly have been covering the channel, you already know the answers to freaking every single one of those, right? So let's do this, guys. Welcome. TJ's in the house. Bullish. What is going on, guys? I hope everybody's coming through today and they're not going to be all terrified because the markets have been dropping, right? Especially my members, because damn it, I have been telling my members for the last, I feel like the last 10 days since we ran up to 108,000. I think even before then I was saying, bro, we are getting some top signals. I know it's risky, guys. I know the greed tells you to keep buying or to keep holding because you want more and more gains. But I told you guys what I did. I told you 2 weeks ago that I ended up moving everything out. Right when we hit about 108,000, I was completely out of the market other than NFK, right? And then as of today, really, I've been starting to accumulate on certain projects that we're going to cover here. So let's do this, guys. So again, like I said, we have been in this big bear flag since we've been moving. And if you guys are familiar, we'll zoom out. Bull flag obviously is when we're going to have a channel that's descending, right? Usually you see a nice pump and then a descending channel, almost like a consolidation, but towards the downside. A lot of times they're going to pump towards the up, right? That's a bull flag. Bear flag, completely opposite. You have a nice pump up, and then you have a continuation of an ascending channel, right? Where you're making higher lows and higher highs as you're moving, right? You can see how the channel is playing it out right there. That's considered a bear flag, right? Does this play out every time? Absolutely not. But a lot of times it does play out. When I see these signals, I usually plan accordingly if we're talking about a bull flag or if we're talking about a bear flag here, right? So I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. Obviously, it did play out for right now, but you can say, well, Crip, how did you know that we were going to see a drop? This was because of Jerome Powell and everything that was said yesterday, right? Correct. But I think, like I said yesterday, regardless of Jerome Powell and what he said, I think we were going to see something like this regardless, right? So, hopefully this is what we needed, right? We saw a nice retracement. Bitcoin dropped down so far to, what did we drop down to? About 95.7 on this particular chart, about 95.7 so far, right? Hopefully that was the bottom, right? And we can actually see some, nice movement towards the upside as of now, even if we maybe consolidate for the next few days, because, what was said yesterday with Jerome Powell is kind of confusing the markets, right? We've been on such a Trump pump, and the reason is because Trump has been saying a lot of bullish things in regards to particularly a strategic reserve for Bitcoin. The U.S. government, eyeing to jump in and basically start buying up Bitcoin and allocating a small percentage, backing like maybe the dollar or something like that, right? Well, now you have Jerome Powell coming out and basically saying, "Oh, we're legally not able to do that." Like I said, guys, I think he was forced to say that. I don't really think at the end of the day that's what's going to happen. I think that the president probably can pull some strings and most likely figure out a way to where the U.S. government can start accumulating Bitcoin and having some kind of a reserve where it doesn't challenge the dollar particularly, right? Because obviously we want the U.S. dollar to stay strong as well. So, Jake, what's going on, brother? TJ said my Myros bag is cooked. Bro, I know you have a big bag, right? I know I used to always watch your wallet through NFK. I know you had like 30,000. I actually was picking up some Myro today, bro. So we're gonna talk about that here in a minute, bro. So yeah, getting back to this. So big spot that we have basically found as some support, even though we did break below this 97,200. We broke below it. Looks like as of now, and we're going to zoom in a little bit, but it looks like since then we have found some support possibly around, above it. You can see we broke below. We actually were hitting our head at this level at the 97,200, we'll call it. That was a scary moment because I was like, oh crap, we broke below, obviously breaking down to that 95, and we came back to retest it and got rejected. I was like, oh man, we're going to probably drop down. I started eyeing out some other levels that we probably were going to see. I was like, we might be dropping down to 94 or maybe even 92,000. I think those are some of the levels. We'll look on another chart. But, as of earlier, I was like, we think things are bumpy now. If we don't find some kind of footing in one of these areas, it's going to get bumpy, right? So as of now, you guys can see, and this isn't really holding much, but as of now, it looks like we are staying above this 97,200 for now, right? So we'll see how this plays out, but you can see we have a lot of volume around that 97,200 area where it's basically an area where there's massive sells and massive buy-ins right there. So hopefully that's going to be a big area that we can hold at that around that area around 97.2. Let me pull up a different chart. I have like 17 different charts here. So this is another chart, right? You can see different areas as far as support and resistance levels. The next area that I was going to call if we did not find that 95.5 area was going to be 94.5. Was a big spot that we actually have bounced off of plenty of times before taking off, right? So, I still do think that's in play if this area does not hold, right? 94.5, you can mark it on your chart, and then also the next area behind that one would be 91.8. But hopefully we're not talking about any of those areas right there. This is a completely different chart, but I did actually, you can see the bear flag is a little bit different, right? You can see it's a little bit different on this chart, and look at where we're basically coming and hitting our head on. The top of the bottom of that flag, which you can basically call a trend line as of now. So hopefully we can break above this trend. I think if we can break above this trend and find some good support, we'll probably be running up towards 98, 99,000 hopefully in the next few days. I think it's going to take a few days for a lot of this crap to blow over, in my opinion. You guys know how we are in crypto. Right now it's bearish. 2 days ago it was freaking beyond bullish, and it's just like, it's how we're so finicky as far as investors. It's like it can change at any freaking minute. We could have Jerome Powell come out and completely change the mood in the markets, right? But on the flip side, I was telling you guys yesterday, this wasn't just a crypto thing. The whole markets, even though Jerome Powell said that about Bitcoin, the whole markets dropped, right? Because remember, we talked about this yesterday. Jerome Powell stated that they were only planning on doing two reductions in interest rates in 2025. Which the whole time they've been talking about at least four. And then he also said that we're only at the max, those two are going to sum up to about 50 basis points. So we're looking at 2/4 basis points throughout the whole year next year, right? They've already dropped a whole basis point in the last 4 months, right? In the last 4 months of this year, they basically have already dropped it. And they're talking about doing basically half of what they've done in 4 months and in the span of 12 months. That's why the markets flipped out and really freaked out. And you saw a big drop off yesterday. The stock market particularly, you think it was bad in Bitcoin. the stock market dumped yesterday. You guys ready for this? Drum roll. 1.5 trillion freaking dollars yesterday was liquidated out of the stock market yesterday, right after Jerome Powell opened up his big fat mouth, right? Isn't that crazy? Yesterday, as of yesterday, this was before the bigger drop today for Bitcoin, but as of yesterday, we dropped about 350 billion, right? I'm sure we've dropped a little bit more since then, right? Maybe regained some of that, but you can see the difference between the movements and the stock market and crypto, but it was across the board, guys. Yesterday at one point, Tesla was down like 9%. 9%. Imagine that in Tesla. So I mean, it was one of those. This last 24 hours has been a big wash compared with pretty much across the board, like I keep saying. So Bitcoin dominance has obviously spiked up, and this is to be expected when you go through times that we've seen right now where people are getting nervous, right? A lot of times you'll see a lot of investors, they'll jump out of meme coins, right? First thing that they're going to jump out of is meme coins, right? That's why memes are going to be dramatic. You're going to see fast movement towards the down. You're going to see fast movements towards the up, right? Hype can move those projects like crazy, and fear can move them even faster down, right? So that's why meme coins are going to be your highest risk, investments in crypto. So you see people jumping out of meme coins, which that's why a lot of them are really down today, right? Then you see the alts as well. Even bigger caps did not get spared. Solana's down 196. XRP's been holding pretty well. We're going to pull up XRP's chart here in a second, but XRP's been holding fairly well just because it's still running off that hype of the stable coin, the ROL USD that dropped. But Ethereum down almost 5% today. So the what I'm getting to is that a lot of times when stuff like this happens, you're going to see the alts as a whole just get decimated. And, a lot of people are either going to sit on the sidelines, like I said yesterday, or they're going to put their money in Bitcoin just because they feel like it's a safe haven versus the alts. So that's why you're seeing that Bitcoin dominance spike back up. It did touch 59.1% as a move up, but it looks like it has retraced slightly down to about 58.7. So it did get back into this trend, though. You see that, Ricky? It got right back into the trend. Now we're going to see if this finds some support on the trend. If it does, this thing's going to continue to start moving up, right? And we might see it break these highs, particularly maybe jumping up to around 62%. We'll see. If it doesn't catch that support, maybe we'll start seeing it drop back down. I don't think it's going to be fast, but we'll see a slow gradual move towards the downside, and alts will probably start to recover, as that happens. So speaking of, Carlos, what's going on, brother? Ricky said we'll be bullish in a couple minutes. Gina, what's going on? So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the opening, monologue as far as what's going on, my opinion on everything right now. Like I said, we talked about this yesterday. Obviously, it was already occurring, but it didn't get as bad as we've seen today. I have to keep saying it, but we did talk about this in the members only stream, right? We did bring this up. I called that bear flag. I called, that we could see a possible drop in the market, not considering, Jerome Powell or anything like that, just looking at the charts, right? And just, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to continue to keep saying that and be like, I told you. I like to bring that up. So next time we're talking, and I do say stuff that's against what most people are saying, maybe just take it in consideration, right? I'm not telling you to make your investment choices off of what I'm saying, but I'm always trying to get you to think outside the box, right? Because a week ago, your favorite YouTuber was telling you that we were just going to continue to keep moving, right? We're going to continue to move, and they weren't even calling out that bear flag, right? And now they're probably over here trying to tell you that we're going down to 70K, right? Cheers. Cheers to you guys. We got the holidays coming up very soon. Another thing too is we got Christmas coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if volume starts to dwindle down in the next few days just because of the holidays and stuff. And then maybe we'll pick back up. Not maybe, we will pick back up probably around New Year's, right? Remember, I told you, I still think we're going to be on that Trump pump as far as the inauguration, which is literally in about 2 weeks from now. I think January 6th. Well, yeah, J6, right? I'm probably going to get flagged for saying that. But on January 6th, we're going to have the inauguration, and I think that we're going to probably pump pre-inauguration and probably going into inauguration. Now, what we're going to get into, I'm going to show you guys a couple things that I did buy in and what my plans are. I should keep this for the members, but we'll drop it. We'll drop it. Don't worry. Looking at the crypto bubbles for today, shocker, everything is in the red. Besides, what is this? Mantle and Move, right? And we have a couple little small green bubbles, but nothing too crazy. Everything else is literally in the red. But what's cool is they all have little Christmas hats on. You guys see that? See these little Christmas hats? Oh, if you click into them, but getting all festive. That's pretty cool, right? The crypto market cap is something I wanted to look at here. So Fear and Greed Index, we dropped down to 69, 69. Hey, we talked about that the other day or yesterday. I said that get ready, that extreme greed was going to be dropping for sure. If you look, market cap for 2 days ago, we were pretty much at highs, right? We were at let's see here. Let's get to the top. 3.79, 3.8, we'll say it, right? And then at the bottom of today so far, we were at 3.3. So you can say that since in the last 2 days, $500 million has basically been liquidated out of the crypto space, which I was expecting a little bit more. I mean, but $500 billion has moved out of the space in the last 2 days, right? Where do you think that money is gone? Do you think that money's gone? People sold off. They're like, I'm done. Transferring over to my bank account. I'm taking this loss. Or maybe they sold for some profits and they're like, that's it. You know, I'll come back another time later. Or do you think that they sold off, right? They're holding USDC or holding USD or Tether or whatever the case is, and they're potentially waiting to jump back in. What do you think? I particularly think that I would say 75% of that money that came out is most likely waiting. Maybe they bought the dip today because you can see we have retraced slightly, right? Maybe they bought the dip today. And I think a lot of that money is sitting there waiting to get right back into the market. But we have to have that bullishness back, right? You got to have that confidence back in the market right now. You know, like I said, it's going to take probably a few days, if not another week. We have the holidays, coming up in the next few days. So like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't necessarily rebound back up to 105,000 by tomorrow, right? And we potentially kind of teeter-totter where we're at right now. Maybe consolidate. Maybe we'll have a run up to 100, get rejected, and come back down to like 98, 99,000. You get the gist where we're kind of just sitting around because there's not massive money moving us in either direction until probably right after Christmas. And we have that, that period between Christmas and New Year's where I think we're going to probably start seeing that move, the pump start coming in with anticipation of the inauguration for the 6th of January. So, Crypto Zaddy, what's going on, bro? Said, what's popping? I know it's not my portfolio. Yeah. Jay's in the house. What's going on, bro? TJ said, Doge dog passed away, and Nero is the sister of Doge. Sick meta pump like 6x the other day. Woo, I retraced back for a good pickup. Wait, TJ, you said the Doge dog passed away? Aw, poor little guy. That little pup will forever be remembered, right? He really will. You guys know I love dogs. I love animals, but that poor little pup. Well, you know what? That's at least dope that we, his picture's gonna always be there, right? The crazy little picture of him. That stinks. I can't believe I didn't see that on the news yet. We're gonna go through the crypto news. But RIP to Doge. Poor little guy. Jay said discounted prices are nice. I agree. Old said, hey, customer was here, so I'm late. It's all good, bro. You got to get that money first, right? The other Jason said, so glad I sold me lady 2 weeks ago. Depression avoided. There you go. I hear you, bro. So let me ask you this, I'm going to call you other Jason because we have like 3 other Jasons in here. Other Jason, are you, did you buy in? Did you buy in on this dip, or are you kind of waiting on the side? Are you that 75% that's waiting on the side? Bitcoin's at 98.1. Not looking too bad. So let's get into a couple things here, guys. See see here. Exit out of there. All right, so a couple things here. So today, what did I buy in, right? Because you guys know I sold out. I sold out at the top. I really did. I sold out at the top, and I was calling this, that I had just moved a lot of my assets, if not all of it, besides NFK, out of the market. So today, I started buying in, drum roll, I started buying in Myro. Started picking up some Myro. Let's see here. Myro, obviously, if you guys know, I'm pretty bullish on Myro, Solana-based meme coin. So I wasn't able to catch the necessarily bottom, but I did start buying in somewhere around, I want to say the high sixes, unfortunately. Around the high sixes, I started buying in, but I wasn't buying in like heavy, right? Because I just could feel that we just kept moving down. So I was like, you know what? We're at a comfy stage right now where I'm going to just start adding to my bag, right? So let's just say, like, let's use the analogy where I have $1,000 to spend. I want Myro. Prices have gotten into my buy zone, right? Because I thought I had marked on here like buy zone. Well, me mentally, I was like, once we get around 7 cents or below, that was going to be my buy zone, right? So we broke, like I said, started jumping in at the high sixes. And let's use that $1,000 analogy, bought in 250, right? Kind of hanging around here. I bought another 250 around that same area, right? Because it looked like we were kind of bouncing off of this support level at the 65. We eventually broke. Now I started buying like $100 increments as we were down here and pretty much consolidated in this area and just kept buying the hundreds. Pretty much, I probably bought a lot more than $1,000, but I'm just using that analogy. That's how I DCA on days like today and yesterday, right? So you can see, for the most part, if you were to look at my average, it probably would be somewhere around where we're at right now, if not below slightly, right? So you can see as of now, for Myro, it looks like we have found some kind of support for right now at around the 65. We're around the 66.97 right now. So everything right now is going to be at the mercy of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's pretty much back into the spot where it's just dictating the market. We need Bitcoin to do really well and kind of restart the confidence level. So Myro, not expecting nothing crazy as far as a big move for right now, but definitely accumulated a lot. And if even where we're at right now, in my opinion, this is a beautiful time to be buying in. Myro's market cap is probably at, I would say, $60-70 million right now. 63 million right now. So I mean, it's gotten down there, right? Just a few days ago, it was at $100+ million. So you can see that it's dropped down a nice chunk. So $63 million, beautiful time in my opinion to be dollar cost averaging in on this project. Another project that I did jump in on is Ordinals. Picked up. You guys remember I sold my bag of Ordinals. I don't remember where I sold it. I remember, let me zoom out on here, but you guys remember I was buying in Ordinals around this buy zone, which was anything below the $26 mark, right? And I remember this dip, particularly where I was buying in, didn't catch that 20, but I was buying in around 25 here and did really well. We broke back into the buy zone for now, and we technically are still in the buy zone. These two projects that I brought up are still in that area, where particularly in my opinion, are good prices to get in on, right? This is not financial advice. Bought in on Ordinals, somewhere down where we bottomed out. I did start buying in, like right when we broke into this buy zone, I started buying in, like a kid in a candy shop, right? And you're wondering, well, what the hell is Ordinals, or why am I buying in on Ordinals? Well, if you're bullish on Bitcoin, Ordinals is a project that I think is very intriguing. Obviously, someone on here, someone spelled it out really well. Oh, right here. So Ordinals is a cryptocurrency designed to facilitate the creation and exchange of digital assets in the Ordinals ecosystem, which are based on the Bitcoin blockchain. So this is a BRC20 token. This is on the Bitcoin ecosystem. This is one of the first tokens that was actually made on the Bitcoin ecosystem, right? A couple things I'm going to point out that you guys, if you're familiar with the channel, you already know what I'm about to say. But it says, according to the white paper, the project addresses the lack of customization Whoa, where'd it go? The lack of customization and difficulty of data integration within the Bitcoin network, which limits its potential to be used in more complex applications. Ordi allows users to enroll and store data on the blockchain in more efficient and accessible ways, providing new opportunities for developers and creators with a focus on decentralization. Get out of here. And security. Ordinals offers an innovative solution to extend Bitcoin's capabilities beyond traditional transactions. So I honestly love this project as far as just what it brings. And if Bitcoin's going to continue to move, this project is going to explode, right? Market cap right now is at about $500 million, so very, very low. What I do love about this is that the total supply, max supply, and circulating supply is all already in circulation at 21 million, right? What's crazy about that is that's exactly how many Bitcoin are in circulation, 21 million. Well, that's how many are in total supply. That's not how many are in total circulation for Bitcoin yet until they're all mined in 2100, the year 2100, right? So that's another project. Ordinals, definitely in a buy zone. That's what I picked up today as well. Myro, Ordinals, and then I also, you guys know I've been buying Maniki, right? You guys know I've been picking up old Manik. I've been buying Maniki as well. Now, Maniki, I started buying a little too early in my opinion, right? It broke below this trend. This was before even the big drop. I just started accumulating Maniki like around like 65. So I am slightly down, but I have been picking, well, I am down because I picked up a solid bag now. I've accumulated a lot of Maniki. But I've been just accumulating as we've been dropping down. Market cap for this project, another Solana-based project that's trading on a lot of bigger exchanges, right? That is fairly low as far as market cap. $49 million market cap. This thing was just a week ago up to 110, I believe it was. $110 million market cap. So half off right now on Maniki, and you guys can see, just like Myro, this is traded on KuCoin, Crypto.com, you have Bitfinex, MEXC, right? You have a lot of central exchanges, and also you can, what I like about Maniki and Myro is that you can still trade them on your Jupiter, through Jupiter on your Phantom wallet and not have to pay these crazy central exchanges fees, right? You can just do your swap very cheaply and efficient. So I'm always looking for meme coins or alts that we can buy, particularly on the Solana network, just because I have all my Solana wallets, and they're just easy to swap and stuff like that. So let's see here. EOS with the $10 super chat, bro. I appreciate that, bro. Can you check Chris with Trump? Now they have a Chris with Trump? Yes, brother. I'll pull it up right now. Oh, yeah, because he met up with... I also bought in a bunch of Crow, too. Chris with Trump. I bought a bunch of Crow earlier today, too, on the drop. Let's see here. Chris with Trump. So if you guys are... I'm sure everybody... I forgot to bring this up yesterday. I completely forgot to bring it up. And we're real big on Kronos, is that Trump met up with Chris, the CEO of Crypto.com, right? And what was big... Crypto.com was pumping too before the big drop, was because remember the SEC was coming after Crypto.com, right? Dirty Gary. And basically Trump, met up with them and they had a secret meeting, right? But a lot of people are speculating that that whole whatever's going on is going to be dropped. And remember, Trump is trying to bring all these exchanges back to America, right? A lot of these exchanges, maybe they weren't particularly in America, but they got the hell away from America because they were all getting attacked, right? So they went over towards, all these different international countries that are a lot lenient, and they set up bases there. Well, Trump's trying to bring all of them back here, right? Set up shop here. We're crypto friendly is basically what he's trying to do. That's why he's meeting up with a lot of these pro crypto people, and now you're seeing big exchanges, central exchanges, CEOs going to meet up with Trump. So with this particular project, EOS, I don't know when you jumped in on it, but let's see here. Obviously, you can see that there was a nice big run. When did this drop? The 17th, so 2 days ago, right before the big drop in the market. Yeah, so it's about 2 days old. The market cap 39K, liquidity 31,000. So I mean, very very low numbers. The volume doesn't look too bad as far as how small the market cap is, right? So I mean, you got that definitely going for you. It looks like it's definitely staying relevant right now as far as buys and sells coming in. So all I can say for this project particularly is that you can see from where you started from the big pump, you're kind of back into that same little area as of now. Little W pattern that's possibly formed right now. But I think what stinks is that a project like this probably would have shot off, a little bit more if we hadn't had this big sell-off in the whole market, right, in the last day and a half. So all I can say for right now is hopefully this project can, sustain itself, potentially for the next week or two while the markets kind of figure out what's going on, right? And if you're, long on this project right now, in my opinion, isn't probably a bad time to just be accumulating on this project. But the one thing I will say, EOS, is be cautious, bro. Be cautious. It's got a very small market cap, so it's a very small project, so this thing can easily fluctuate very quickly. So you want to be very cautious in regards to how much, in my opinion, how much money you're putting into this project particularly. And if you start seeing this trending on the DEX and you start seeing it, starting to get a lot of momentum when the markets pick back up, then you feel a little bit more confident in throwing in some more money, potentially riding this thing up. No diddy on that one. So, but to answer it all in a quick answer after that 30-minute spiel, right now is probably not a bad time to accumulate, in my opinion. So thank you so much for the $10 super chat, brother. I do appreciate that. You guys remember I lost my whole freaking watch list on the deck screener. You better believe the deck screener got a very big email from me. Very big email. Whoever read that email, I feel bad for him because I went off. I'm just kidding. I wrote them a letter. You guys ever seen that movie White Chicks? Where they're like, all right, I'm gonna write them a letter. He's like, no, please don't write a letter. Yeah. So yeah, I'm working with this little ass watch list. I gotta build my stuff back up. But looking at it, like I said, Maneki been accumulating. You know what I did buy in today on? I know some people sometimes ask me about this, and I lost my chart on here, is RTR. I picked some more RTR up. Well, I picked up RTR because I sold my bag, but I picked it up right when it dropped down to around the 60 level. So I am technically up slightly on this project. I didn't go really crazy, but this is like discount central right here because this thing has been sitting at like $20+ million market cap, and it's at $5 million for right now. So I definitely picked up RTR and Solana. It's basically a Trump-based project, right? Whether you love him or hate him. I picked it up just because we have the inauguration coming up. And around the election time, RTR freaking shot up like hundreds of %, right? You can see, obviously, it was, go back into the chart. You can see it was short-lived, right? You can see these spurts. I was pretty much catching these runs every time. And then on the last run, I sold out and I hadn't bought back in just because you could see the trend had shifted from these big, buys and then sells to just a slow bleed, right? So now that we've gotten down to these levels where I'm like, damn, I was buying up here at like $15 million market cap and selling when it was jumping up quickly to like freaking 30, 40 million, and then doing it all over again. Now we've dropped down to 5 million. I'm like, hell yeah, I'll just pick up a bag and just let it sit there. And hopefully during the inauguration, we'll see a nice run for that. So, and I think that's going to come for the whole market, in my opinion. So what are the top stories for the crypto space right now? Other than what we've already been talking about in the last day about Jerome Powell, I don't want to freaking hear about that anymore. I'm just like, want to get past it. I think if we stop talking about it, people will forget about it and we'll just kind of like move on and the markets will get back up and running, right? So two main things that I want to talk about here. Two main things. First is Hawk Tua, homegirl gets sued for $50 million, bro. They're coming after her for $50 million because of that, I guess, rug pull that they are basically calling it. I wouldn't consider it a rug pull, right? Because a rug pull's definition technically is where all the liquidity is completely removed from the project, right? And all one swift, take, right? The project still is up and running, right? And I think it still has like a few $1 million in liquidity. So, but what happened was, and we already know it because CoffeeZilla killed it on this one, was that, they started the project and a lot of the people that were a part of the dev team were just selling off massive amounts as the project ran up like crazy, right? And just emptied their bags on everybody that was buying in. So that's why they're calling it a rug pull. I think I would mostly call it just a freaking scam. What I think I would call it, because it technically isn't a rug pull. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, we're going to click into both these articles, is El Salvador to discontinue Bitcoin wallet Chivo and $1.4 billion IMF deal. Now, I don't know if you guys saw anybody else talking about this. I just stumbled across this. This literally just dropped at around 5 o'clock today. So I'm sure not too many people have brushed across it, or maybe even they're giving it the respect that it needs, because this is to me is slightly a big deal, right? So you guys remember, 2 years ago, El Salvador came out, maybe it was a little bit more than 2 years ago. They came out and they said that they were basically art. I'm going to pull up that project right now, brother. Just bear with me. And I see Jake asked a question too, so hold on one second, bro. But El Salvador, a few years ago or however long it's been, they started to accumulate Bitcoin, right? And they legalized it as a legal tender in their country. Well, we can see real quick, they've actually done really well with this. But when they did this, the IMF, which I believe is the International Monetary Funds, it's like an international bank across the world, right? They weren't happy. And they said, you're going to start using Bitcoin as a legal tender, then you're not going to be you're not going to be eligible for loans from us. If you want to help us to help build your country, or if you ever need anything, you're not going to be eligible. And El Salvador was kind of like, just because we want to deal with Bitcoin as well, because they're looking at it as a threat, right? So El Salvador was like, whatever, and they stayed on track with their Bitcoin. And we're going to read into this, but they've done really well. They started accumulating Bitcoin, and obviously, Bitcoin's been doing really well recently, and they're up on their investment. As far as their citizens using Bitcoin, it didn't work out as well, just because we'll cover it in the chart, right? So Bitcoin-friendly nation El Salvador will sunset or sell its Chivo crypto wallet as it scales back Bitcoin activity as part of terms to secure a $1.4 billion International Monetary Fund loan. So in order for them to get this $1 billion loan, they have to stop dealing with Bitcoin. And this is, like I said, it's not good news. And right now you can see, we're going to find out how much Bitcoin they have technically. So Stacy Herbert, director of El Salvador's National Bitcoin Office, said the decision was part of its agreement with the IMF. Notably, Chivo's fate will not impact Bitcoin laws in the country, and Bitcoin will remain available as a legal tender under the IMF deal, per Reuters. El Salvador introduced Chivo in August of 2021, around the same time it legalized Bitcoin's nationality. Chivo served as a sovereign crypto wallet to propel President Bukel's ambitious Bitcoin agenda. Citizens received Bitcoin rewards for signing up with Chivo at the time, but the crypto wallet suffered several setbacks. Hackers attacked Chivo on at least 2 occasions, exposing sensitive user data, and leaked the wallet's code in April of 2024. El Salvador's Bitcoin bet. Despite Chivo's likely shutdown, El Salvador remains a pro-Bitcoin powerhouse. Under President Bukel, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but the country became the first jurisdiction to adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender and deploy state funds for Bitcoin purchases. Since September 2021, when it legalized Bitcoin, President Bukel has overseen a $270 million investment into a $1 trillion asset. El Salvador held over 632 million in Bitcoin at press time, with 362 million in unrealized profits from its Bitcoin bet. Bitcoin rise above 100K triggered growth in El Salvador's bond markets, a landmark moment in crypto history. It was the first time Bitcoin price patterns impact sovereign issued debt. Over nations like Brazil and the United States have now announced plans to explore Bitcoin's reserve laws following years of crypto speculism. So you guys can see, obviously, you know, what I thought was that they were going to say they had to sell their Bitcoin, but I guess this isn't as bad because basically they don't have to sell their Bitcoin, but it looks like they're basically, from what it sounds like, is they're not going to be accumulating any Bitcoin for right now per this agreement of them getting this loan of $1.4 trillion or $1 billion from this IMF fund. So, you know, this was a big deal whenever it came out for Bitcoin. Even though El Salvador is not a very big country, it paved the way for the first country to actually use Bitcoin as a tender in their country. So, you know, a big deal for Bitcoin, right? As other countries will follow suit, as in like America is considering something similar, but not on those terms of actually being a, you know, legal tender or anything like that. So, but I honestly thought that they were going to say that they had to sell their freaking their Bitcoin, because I was going to say this might be a big thing that we need to look out for, but it doesn't seem like it is. We're not really going to jump much into this right here, but you can see that Berwick Law filed a federal lawsuit on behalf of investors in the Hawk2A meme coin Hawk. Let's pull that project up real quick and see what's going on with that project. Okay, so liquidity is still at around 862 million and market cap's at 8 million. But you guys can see this was the initial, they claim as the initial rug pull. This project shot up like crazy, and then you can see it's pretty much just dropped from there with these small little swings. But you can see obviously a slow but sure pace towards the downside. And, you know, there was a lot of people coming out and they were like, I lost my whole savings on this project. And you're like, bro, why the hell did you buy in? Why'd you use your life savings on a meme coin that some chick that just popped up out of nowhere 2 weeks ago supposedly created? Like, that to me, you feel bad for those people in a way, but at the same time you're like, dude, like, come on, you kind of asked for it there, right? So it looks like they definitely have filed some kind of a lawsuit. Looks like it's going to be let's see here, like mini celebrity Solana launches, Hawk skyrocketed immediately after its debut and peaked at $500 million market cap. Holy crap, I didn't realize that much. It's at 5 million right now. Minutes later, the token fell 90% and tumbled under 50 million. The token traded at a market cap of under 8 million by this time. Bro, these people that did it, you can tell, and I said this before when all this dumb shit happened, that they screwed this girl over. She don't know anything about crypto, and she let these people use her name to create a token, right? To basically run off her hype. And they basically they gave her probably like $1 million or $2 million. And these people probably had 50 million, out of everything, and probably were selling off in the back end. But they did it so dumb where they just sold off everything so fast immediately. So it was so noticeable, instead of letting the project thrive and maybe, slowly but surely, kind of selling stuff off as, the project's moving, maybe so the project can survive and you won't go through this. Because I'm sure any of those people that were part of that project are going to get brought into that lawsuit. So, and supposedly that one guy that was at the if you guys saw CoffeeZilla's video, and CoffeeZilla was basically going off on them on a live feed on X. That guy he's the sole reason why there's been like 5 other celebrity tokens that have launched and the same shit's happened, right? But not on that scale that high. The same guy literally has done this. So, I'm sure he's probably made a pretty penny, but they're probably going to come after him now. So, all right, what were you guys? So, Jake said if you'd be down to take a quick look at Solana or AVAX at some point, Crip. Yeah, I mean, we'll pull up both of them. You can see, so Solana, I've been talking about this bull flag that's been playing out for Solana, right? I mean, like I said, it's not necessarily the prettiest flag that you would see, but doesn't look bad at all. And, it did drop below, but it looks like it's come right back into the channel which, we could still be right back on track for this bull flag to play out eventually, and start running back up. And, I call this on Solana, and this is actually happening on a lot of alts right now that will pull up. But you can see as of now, Solana did break below the 236. That 236 is at around the 204, so it did break below. Today it came down to around $187. So, you can see somewhat of a slight retracement. A slight move towards the upside from that bottom. We're sitting at around 194 right now, so hasn't really, done anything impressive since the drop, but you can kind of see this is pretty much how the crypto market is looking for today. Even Bitcoin, after it's dropped down to 95, it's kind of sitting right now at 97, right? So you can kind of see the market right now is kind of just like on edge. I think what you're seeing is retail investors eating up these dips right now, because we know that there's going to be one more big shebang that I was talking about this yesterday and even a week ago after this drop was going to happen. And I do think there's going to be one more big shebang that we're going to see in the market before we actually see, a big drop and we don't see it coming back up, right? I do think that we're still going to see higher highs for Bitcoin. And I do think that we have one massive big run for the alts, right? That's going to be for the history books that's potentially coming. So, and what did you say, AVAX? I don't think I pulled up AVAX in a while. Steve said, told you we was headed to 88K Bitcoin. Anyone enjoy the ride with us? Did you call that, Steve? Because that's weird, because I was calling this like a week ago when we were running. I basically pointed out this bear flag that we've been painting out for the last week, right? So did you call 88K? I don't remember, honestly, bro. If you did, good job. But we didn't even see 88,000. Not yet. We didn't see it yet, bro, but you never know. Let me see. We're going to pull back AVAX real quick. But like I said earlier, I've been pre-warning everybody about this bear flag that we have been painting out, right? Now, I didn't say that it was going to happen this soon, particularly, but you can see we broke out of the bear flag as of now. I honestly think that this was just a scare, and we're probably going to get back into it. I think this bear flag is going to play out a little bit longer. Like I keep telling you guys, I think Bitcoin still has a little bit more highs to make before we see a big drop towards the downside. But what's going on, Rugged? Gigi said, can you check Pepe Unchained? And if you're unfamiliar, check their website. John said, what's your thoughts on Nero buying the dip, Nero Solana? And Steve came back to chime in again and said, yeah, you asked me if I pulled it out my ass. I honestly don't remember, bro. I don't honestly remember. I do not remember. But again, you said 88, bro. We didn't go down to 88. We went down to 95. So what the hell are you talking about, Steve? But if you called the dip, good job, right? If you did, I honestly do not remember yesterday if me and you talked about that. I'll have to go back tonight. I'm going to be watching the stream from yesterday like, that son of a beep, he did call it. You think he's saying there's going to be another 5 to 8% dip? Listen, I will not disagree with you right now. Right now, we haven't seen like any kind of a V-shaped recovery to where I would be like, nah, bro, that was it. That was the bottom. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if, there's a little bit more pain in the market, a little bit. So definitely wouldn't disagree with you whatsoever. Gigi said, can you check Pepe Unchained? And if you're unfamiliar, check their website. Are you talking about just Pepe? Excuse me. Oh, Art. Art. It's kind of hard to take you seriously when you're asking me to look up a project like that. Did you check unicorn fart dust on Solana? Like, really, bro? Oh, yeah. Unicorn fart dust on Solana. All right. Is this what you're talking about here? Unicorn fart dust. So first things first, you can see we pulled up the fib retracement. The first thing I'm looking at, Art, is a potential M pattern. Bro, Dex Screener's pissing me off, bro. They like moved everything that I had on here. So you can see a potential double top or an M pattern that's formed, right? So you might see some more movement towards the downside if this 0.5 right here does not hold. If it comes back to retest the 14 cent right there, 14.24. If it does not hold that 0.5, you're probably going to be dropping down probably around the 6.8 or below, right? But if it can find some support, then maybe you guys will continue to break out, not forming this M pattern basically, right? And coming up to maybe do a triple top and make some new highs. But one thing I would just focus on is this M double pattern, and that 0.5 right there has to hold. So this is up 62%. It's been out for about a day and a half. I would be a little just worried just because the market's, like I said, not doing the best. You're going to still see Solana projects and probably anything on DeFi is going to probably do all right on these first pumps, right? They're always going to have these newbie gains. Regardless if the market's doing good or not, people are still looking to make money. New project drops. Market cap's 151 million. Liquidity is not bad at 3 million. So you're going to have interest in this project, right? But interest is going to be a lot quicker than what it normally is. How these projects run fast and then they dump usually, right? And then they'll kind of consolidate. And if it's a decent project, it'll continue to run up. What I'm saying is you saw this initial run, right? Because the project dropped. Now you're starting to see people taking profits. You have an M pattern. The markets right now, I'm not saying they're doing terrible. They're trying to retrace, but we're kind of in this sticky zone, right? You have Steve over here calling for a 10% more drop. I'm telling you that we don't know exactly what we're going to see for tomorrow. The markets are just in this like iffy kind of stage right now where we could still see more pain, or we could see, a quick little move back up to maybe 100K. The point of what I'm getting to is be very cautious on anything that you're buying in right now on DeFi, because these things are probably going to be very finicky as far as running up and then quickly running out, as people are nervous as shit right now putting their money into anything other than pretty much Bitcoin, in my opinion. So, like I said, 0.5 would need to hold that 14. We'll call it the 14 where it's at right now. You can see literally where it's at. Let's watch it. Look, it looks like it's trying to bounce right now off of there. So if this thing can hold around that area, you'll potentially be all right. Maybe for a retrace back up towards the upside. What I'm saying is I think if this thing continues to keep testing this area, it's probably going to break towards the down, in my opinion. So be cautious, bro. Not financial advice, right? And good luck with that, Art. Art, did I tell you I picked up more ordinals? And then Pepu. Didn't we pull up Pepu the other day? I think we did. We pulled up Pepu the other day, I believe. I couldn't tell you if we did or not because Dex Screener like deleted everything that I have on here. You guys are gonna hear me bitch about Dex Screener for like the next few weeks, because I had all my charts on here. I had all these saved projects, and then like 2 days ago I come on here and everything's been wiped out clean. You know what? I'm writing them a letter tonight. If anybody is watching this as from Dex Screener, you're getting a freaking 3-page letter, and it's not gonna be a nice letter. I'm telling you right now. So Pepu on Ethereum trending number 4 on the DEX grader, down 16%, market cap 134 million, liquidity locked in around $3.8 million. So the numbers check out. Project's been out for a little over a week. You kind of can see, obviously, we saw those newbie gains. We saw the sell-off. Looks like we're seeing somewhat of a consolidation. It's hitting its head at the 786 at around that 2.1 cent mark right there. So you can see it's struggling to break above this the 786. So you might see potentially, I'm not going to say it's going to come all the way back down to the bottom of the fib, but you might see it come back down potentially and keep testing this 1.5 cent mark, or potentially around this 1 cent even area where it's kind of found some support on these drops for right now. Given that this project stays relevant, and like I said, if the markets pick back up, you'll probably see this project move, towards the upside. But if it stays where it is right now, iffy, even DeFi is not going to be saved, right? These projects, they're gonna keep coming out every day, pumping, and they're gonna drop because people are not gonna sit here and want to put their money in these DeFi projects if Bitcoin is not doing good, or if the markets, lost the confidence that we've had a week ago. So that's why I keep saying kind of the same narrative on these projects. This project, the market cap looks solid, $136 million, but if the regular market's not doing the best, like I said, confidence isn't going to be there. People are going to kind of be iffy on holding in on these projects. So when these projects drop right now, if we stay in this area that we're in, they're going to do all right. They're going to do probably the same like they have been. You can see these runs, but you're going to see a quick drop after it gets to a certain spot because people are not going to be parking their money into these projects for right now. GG, I'm not going to pull up their site right now, brother, but maybe on a members only stream we will. I've been a little cautious opening up websites on the DEX trainer because if you guys seen, when you click into it, it gives you like this disclaimer of like, be careful because of scams. So I've been very cautious on, that's really the reason why I do not want to open up the website on here. So I'm sure it's legit 100%. I just don't want to open it up on my computer. So I have stuff connected. Don't want to be vulnerable, bro. Pink said, how do you calculate a 50x or 100x profit by? Do you multiply by coins, or do you have in total, or the total money invested? Well, I mean, it depends, right? So let's say you put $1 in Shiba, right? When it first drops. You put $1 in Shiba when it first drops, and Shiba just ran up 100x, right? You're like, well, how do I know it's 100x? Well, let's say Shiba's market cap when it first dropped, I'm just trying to make easy numbers here. Shiba's number, around when it dropped, the market cap was at $1,000, right? And you put $1 in there. And you're hodling because Pepe is going to be the new meme coin, right? And it is. It runs up 100x. 100 times 1,000 comes out to, what does that come out to? Like 10 million, I believe it is. I'm trying to think. I believe it's like 10 million, right? So obviously 100 times 1,000, market cap goes up to 10 million. You're on your side, you're $1, 100x's. It goes from $1 up to $100, if that makes any sense, right? So John said, would love if you check. Did you hold on a second? Okay. John said, would love if you checked the Nero chart. It pumped like 500% in the last week. The community is powerful behind it. Yeah, I mean, Nero is a solid project, bro. It's when it dropped, this thing went running. All right. Did you guys hear the poor the Dogecoin dog? He died. Sad. I feel bad for the little pup. I hope he lived a good life. Hope that little guy lived a good life. Definitely changes the crypto space, right? So I wanted to just check it on Coin Market Cap. So the market cap's at $400 million. So, I mean, this project has dropped. I mean, everything's dropped, right? But this project in the last week is down 40%, right? So if you felt like you missed the boat on this project, you might be getting that opportunity, in my opinion, to maybe dollar cost average in if you're, if you're long term on this project, or you're thinking that we maybe have bottomed and we might be coming back up slightly. I don't know. But this project, like I said, whenever it dropped, during this period, you can see it was just a massive run. This is on the weekly. These are weekly candles right here. So you can see a massive run. This thing has run up. So as of now, it's down 40% in the last week. So think about it. It's at a market cap of $400+ million. This thing was close to $1 billion market cap at one point. You see from the top, it's down 68% from the top. So this thing definitely broke above or right around $1 billion market cap. So definitely a solid project, right? Definitely a solid project. Like I said, the numbers check out. I know this is a solid project. What I would say is if you're long-term on this project, not financial advice, you did break below the 618. You're down 40% in the last week from these highs. So, not a bad time if you're long-term, in my opinion, to be accumulating on these projects, right? Or this project particularly. So Pasquale, what's going on, brother? Said, what do you think about Doge? Dogecoin? Well, I'm always going to have respect for Dogecoin, right? That was like the first meme coin I ever bought in 2020, right? Won't bore you guys with the story because I've said it like 17,000 times, but for Doge, where'd this thing run up to? It ran up to about 48 cents. Nice. 382. Obviously, Doge was running with the market, right? But also on top of that, it was running with Elon, and Elon creating the Doge, whatever you want to call it with the government. So, Doge really picked up, right? And you can see with Doge, same thing with Bitcoin. Look at this. I know it doesn't matter anymore because it already played out, but look at this bear flag. This bear flag right here. I'm telling you, there was signs that we were going to see this dip, right? And I called this over a week ago. I called this dip coming, especially to my members. But you can see bear flag played out, dropped down. Right now, it looks like you're trying to find support around the 618 at around 32 cents. So what do I think about Dogecoin? I honestly, if you asked me a year ago, I was going to say, you know what? Doge is probably going to get dethroned by a lot of these newer meme coins. Now, I think that Doge is honestly, I've always had respect for Doge. I think Doge, especially the fact that it still has the support from Elon, I think Doge is going to stay relevant for a while. I do. And I think eventually, anybody that's held for this long is eventually going to see that dollar Doge. I really do. But that dollar Doge is going to be it's going to be like, it's going to hit $1 for like a millisecond and then it's going to get rejected just because it's like almost like Bitcoin with the $100,000 mark. Everybody was been waiting since since Bitcoin dropped, obviously 15 years ago, but really since like 2020, everybody was told that Bitcoin was going to 100K in 2021 and it never did. Same thing with Doge. Everybody thought Doge was going to $1. I was buying Doge at 2 cents back in 2020, 2021, and I did sell, and made some good money off of that. That's what really started my foundation and my interest in crypto. And I moved on to Ethereum, and a lot of other things. But Doge really is what brought me into crypto, a friend bringing it up to me. But the point I'm getting to is we never saw that dollar Doge in 2021. So hopefully we see that on this run, right? But I think it's going to be very brief, but hopefully it'll keep retesting that dollar mark and it'll finally break above it. So, but I think Doge is solid. I think it's going to be here for a while. If it doesn't hold the 618, I don't think it's dropping down to the abyss for Doge, but I would say probably if I was to mark a support level on Doge for right now, I would probably say where it dropped down already. You can see this was where this particular area at the 29 cents is where it came up and it hit its head. Look where it came on this big drop. It came basically and hit the same spot as a spot for some support. So the 29 cents is a big spot for support. If it does break, you're probably going to be looking at a 27 cent Doge. And then obviously if that breaks, we're probably going to be talking about a 20 cent Doge, right? So hopefully we don't talk about that and it can bounce, right? Gigi keeps pressuring me to pull up the Peepoo site, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, Gigi. John said, "Thanks, bro. Thinking of getting a few hundred in it again." And, yeah, I mean, are we talking about for Nero? Yeah, Nero would be, like I said. I mean, you're getting in my opinion, an opportunity, right? What we talked about earlier, what I was doing, right? Obviously, I'm not giving out financial advice, but what I was doing earlier was today on these drops that we were seeing on the projects that I covered earlier that I was buying. I told you guys a few projects that I bought in, right? We're not going to go back into it. But what I was doing was, let's say I had $1,000, I'd buy a few hundred, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't just throwing it all in at one time, right? Because just in case if we continue to move down or tomorrow you wake up and it's down, more, you can at least, take advantage of that in dollar cost averaging. And versus if you just buy it all at once right now, maybe if we do see that retracement a little bit farther down, you're going to be like, oh, crap, I don't have any more funds to spend, right? So Jake said, do you think Saylor put in shorts on Bitcoin before FOMC meeting? I don't know, but that would be freaking boss. That would be a boss move if he did that, right? The most pro crypto bull out there putting shorts out when he, like before the FOMC meeting. So he's still making money. I wouldn't even be upset with it because if he really did that and he made out on the shorts, he'd buy back in, on the dips as far as buying Bitcoin. So I wouldn't even be mad at him. But do I think he did that? Probably not. Probably not. DJ Dark is asking me if I can please check. I don't even know how to pronounce that one. But I'll just pull it up. Is that PayPay? Oh, we've looked at this project before. Is this on Ethereum? DJ, let me know. Is this on Ethereum? Yes, Jake, we are back up to 98. All right. Michael V, I'll answer your question here in a second, brother. Just bear with me real quick. Gotta help my boy DJ out. DJ, this is an OG project because I feel like we pulled this up. And if they didn't delete ever all my charts, I guarantee I'd probably have a fib retracement somewhere back here. Yeah, I mean, it's been out for 6 months. 6 months. I consider that an OG project in the DeFi world, right? So quickly, we'll just run through it. Market cap, 47 million. Liquidity is at around 2.6 million locked in. So not too bad. Like I said, it's been out for about 6 months. So numbers check out. As far as the project itself, you can see right now we are basically, it looks like this thing is like, it almost looks like it just keeps doing the same thing, right? Comes down to the exact same points and runs up to the same exact points, right? Almost like a consolidation, but these are some nice swings here. So what I can say is if history is going to repeat itself, you can see there's been plenty of times where we've gotten in this area right here, and now right here, right? So, and every time it's done that, you can see we've run up. Maybe we're gonna run up here. I don't know. You can see. Let's remove these drawings real quick off of this one particularly, but you can see that we basically keep hitting our heads at the 618 right here, right? So if this thing can break above the 618, you're probably going to see a repeat of a run up. Looks like where it likes to come up and basically hit its head at, if it does break above the 618, is somewhere around the 60 and the 22 mark. So keep that mapped up. So if you do go on a nice run, you'll know to maybe look for a potential exit position, not financial advice, at that 60 and the 22 area. So, but I mean, as far as the project itself, numbers check out, doesn't look bad. You can see, like I said, it keeps coming up. It comes down, hits its head at the 618 a few times, and then it eventually will break. So hopefully you're maybe seeing that right now. Probably if I was long-term or even interested in this project right now, in my opinion, wouldn't be a bad time to accumulate. Mike's V said, dude, do you think Doge will return to 40 cents? I mean, it depends how you're asking me. Do I think it ever will get back up to 40 cents? Hell yeah. Do I think it's going to get to 40 cents tonight, tomorrow? I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, the markets right now, it's going to probably take a few days for us to forget about what Jerome Powell said, right? In my opinion. So, for right now, I don't think that we're going to see a 40 cent Doge immediately unless the market's like just out of nowhere, just recover, But I do think that if you're holding and, that 40 cent mark is precious for you, maybe you bought in around that time, potentially. I do think that long term, not financial advice, but if you always just have patience, you'll get the opportunity, right? So I think if you have patience, you'll probably see that 40 cents. The time frame is what we don't know, right? Next few days, next few weeks, maybe it doesn't get up there for a very long time. We don't know, right? I hope that in your sake, it jumps up, in the next few days, we're back up to 40 cents because that obviously would mean the market is back up and running. But at the end of the day, bro, you got Elon behind you, bro. You got Elon behind you, dude. So, Jay said, yes, sir. Or you're. DJ, yeah, Harvest is not a bad project. Small market cap. And yeah, I mean, if that project does get if that thing does get a freaking Binance listing, bro, hell yeah, I think it will jump up probably to $1 billion. Michael V, I got you, bro. Definitely got you. Make sure to keep coming back. You know what I'm saying? And we'll definitely map that journey together, bro. And hopefully, we're talking about $1 Dogecoin here, very soon. Jay, it's on Ethereum. It's on Ethereum. An Ethereum base. Real quick, I wanted to jump in on Twitter. I wanted to jump on Twitter and see what the crazy reactions are having right now on Twitter. So let's see here. So as of earlier, you can see say I'm not selling. This says war, drones, bird flu, markets are dumping. That was all true. Obviously, we have the drones in the United States, war right now technically going on across the world, and then the bird flu. I did hear about that. Look at this. Last week, Bitcoin at 100K. This week, Bitcoin at 100K. Oh, man. Bitcoin crashes to 100K will never not be funny to me. Well, yeah, I mean, that was yesterday. We dropped a little bit below there, but I get what they're saying. Whoa, what's going on here? This is kid friendly. Oh, look. People are pointing out the bear flag now. Huh. We did this a week ago.
No.
It says take profit, your Bitcoin's up 5x.
No.
Yeah. That's what I wasn't screaming take profit, because I don't give out financial advice, but especially on our members only stream, this past our member stream was like 5 days ago. I was like, bruh, selling everybody. I was like, I'm not gonna tell you guys I can't tell you what to do with your investments, but we are getting a lot of signals that we have temporarily topped out. Bitcoin's about to bounce. This was 16 hours ago, my boy Crypto Rover. We didn't necessarily see that bounce. I was honestly expecting a lot more of a meltdown on Twitter, but we didn't really see it. We didn't really see it, guys. No problem, DJ. I got you, bro. Izzy said thoughts on XRP. XRP, that's right. I was going to pull the chart up real quick. Freaking XRP, bro. I will tell you guys, out of every freaking chart that I've been looking at, right, for today and yesterday, everything, obviously everything's down, but I can't tell you another project right now that is hanging around its 236 fib, right? And you can see that XRP right now is literally hanging around the 236 fib. This is very bullish right here. What I'm getting to is obviously it worked out perfect for XRP because they rolled out with the ROUSD stablecoin on XRP. A few days ago it went live, right? So it had been running off of, obviously XRP's been doing great, but it got that extra oomph behind it because of the stablecoin and all this other stuff that's going on with XRP. It kind of propped it up to where when we saw a big sell, the markets come down yesterday and today, XRP has come down, but you can see it's still hanging very high up on this pump. And if you see on the fib, it's hitting literally a hairline right below the 236, which to me is a very bullish sign. Let's just speak hypothetically, Bitcoin starts running back up past 100K. XRP is going to be running back up and probably breaking highs within probably hours of Bitcoin doing that, in my opinion. If not, it'll be right behind Bitcoin just because it is, it's out of all the projects that you've seen, 30-40% drops in the last day. XRP really hasn't dropped much, right? XRP is holding probably the strongest out of the top 10 for sure, right? Other than the stables, it's definitely holding one of the best, probably in the top 100 right now, right? So that's very bullish in my opinion for XRP. So definitely looks good for XRP. If these markets can get back on track and get back up and rolling as far as just start moving towards the upside, you're gonna see XRP probably take the freak off. So. Hernandez said a rug pull is not a crime, people. Stop crying. There you go. Is it really not a crime? I have no idea. I have no idea. I know it don't feel good when you're on the other end of a rug pull, right? No diddy on that one. Jake said XRP is unstoppable. It really is, bro. For now. Now, I will tell you, if speaking on the opposite, right? If Bitcoin, is getting weaker as far as price action and maybe we have a little bit more pain in the market, XRP is not going to be able to sustain where it's at for too much longer, right? So it's kind of sitting here waiting to see what Bitcoin's going to do. But if, let's just say, Bitcoin starts dropping and we get down to the lower 90s or whatever the case is, I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. But if that does happen, XRP is going to eventually start moving towards the downside too, and it will eventually start running in track with the rest of the market. Right now, it's holding strong, but you don't know how long it's going to be for. Michael V said Doge will hit 34 cents overnight. How do you feel about Cardano? I don't have a problem with Cardano, right? I think Cardano is just so lag how it moves, It's just like, what it's like to be a Cardano holder, right? It's just like you wait so long and eventually it pumps, out of nowhere. You can see it ran up, hit its head at 133. And since even before the drop on the market, Cardano's kind of been coming down slightly. It did break below a dollar now, so I have a feeling that when it tries to get back up a dollar, it's going to be struggling. But I think the technology, Charles Hopkins or whatever the hell his name is, Hawkinson, is not a bad person or whatever the case is as far as like in the crypto space. I think the project's solid. Honestly, it's just how you kind of hear my tone in my voice. That's how Cardano is just like getting hit with all. Do you like ICP? What do you think about Caffeine AI? What do you think about Usual, bro? What's up? What's going on over Seche? Can you please check Media and Muse? What the hell? Fart coin is up now? Didn't we just look this up? Someone's got to be trolling here. Fart coin. Oh my gosh. What are we looking for? Media and Muse? Wasn't Media pumping like the other day? Could have sworn. Maybe not. So, I don't know anything about this project whatsoever. What I will say as far as just price action, the 786 looks like that's exactly where you're hitting your head on. Whenever you guys do get on somewhat of a pump, that's going to be around the $21.75 mark as of now. So, 786 is going to be a big spot for some resistance. Definitely, when you do break above that, you might see a nice run. Obviously, 618 is going to be your next spot where it looks like it hits its head as well. But as far as the, where it's at right now, looks like you're just getting just like a typical retracement like the rest of the market is right now, right? So what I would say as far as support levels, put down some brief support levels here. I would say if you're going to keep coming down, you're probably going to find support somewhere around the $12.82 mark, right? You can see you bounced off of that already a few times, right, around that area. So if you are going to come down, it's probably going to be around that $12.84. If this was a project that I was like long-term on, anything below there would probably be a dollar cost average in event. Anything below $12.82. DJ asks, do I like ICP? Yeah, I do like ICP. I do like ICP. I really do. If you guys ever go back on my channel, I was not giving financial advice, but telling everybody that I was buying ICP when we were in the bear market at around, it was when it dropped down to like $2.90, right? That and Fetch AI at like 15 cents, all this stuff sitting here, because these were all solid fundamental projects in my opinion. So definitely do like the technology with ICP and everything it has going for it. Oh, Caffeine AI is on their ecosystem. Solid. Hell yeah. ICP's definitely, bro. Like I always tell everybody, like fundamental wise, decentralized, ICP is right there, bro. Like one of the solid projects, in my opinion. What's ICP at right now? $10? Not bad, honestly. It's like an ego thing because I was buying like I told you guys, buying ICP bags of it. $2.90, $3, even $5. When we were in the bear market. And then I end up selling off when we shot up, and I haven't really bought back in. $10 is like an ego trip for me to buy back in on, but $10 is not a bad move on ICP either, in my opinion. So this project Muse, same thing about the other one. Don't know anything about it, right? You can see obviously. Potential M pattern maybe that's formed. I know it looks ugly as shit, but you can see maybe, oops, I don't mean to put the arrow. Maybe a potential like kind of, I don't know if that's, dude, stop drawing and do what I'm saying. Maybe, so yeah, I would say probably maybe a little double top that's formed, right? You hit your head at the 0.5, hit your head at the 0.5, and now you're starting to come down. So potential M pattern that formed. I would say next spot for some solid support would probably be somewhere around the $10.10 or the 786 area at around $9 is going to be a big spot for some support for the project. So, but you can see if you buy anything below the 786 area, historically speaking, this thing freaking shoots up. So you got to get in when it's good, and then take those profits when this thing runs up freaking, what is that? Probably like hundreds of %. Look at that. 400% if you were buying under anywhere under that 786 area. So it probably has a very small market cap. Omar, what's going on, bro? Now you have me looking at freaking ICP. I always keep this on my charts, guys. Look at this. I always keep it there just to kind of remember. I'm sitting here streaming during the bear market. I started my channel 2 years ago during the bear market, and I'm streaming, right? And you want to talk about starting to stream during a bear market. Everybody is like, not everybody, but most people don't want to talk about crypto because it was down. And I'm sitting there like, this is when we should be talking about crypto. This is when you guys should be not giving out financial advice, but this is when you should be freaking just going crazy. And if you have extra funds, be accumulating, right? You know, talking to the 20 people that were on my live stream at the time, because it was just like, you know, the markets were like dead. Everybody was just like, I don't even want to look at crypto. Well, I always keep this box there because that was my buy zone, that I was just buying massive ICP at the time. And I just always keep it there just to remember, right? And you guys can see after the fact played out beautifully. I didn't catch the top, but you guys can see obviously what ICP's done since then. So coming back, moving the fib over, ICP broke below the 618 as of now. Like I said, not looking too bad for price action. I particularly wouldn't probably buy in. I would probably put my buy zone anything below this $9.16 mark, somewhere at or around, I mean, anywhere around there or below would probably be for myself a little bit more comfier zone to buy in on ICP particularly. So then you can see obviously same thing like we just talked about on the last project, you know, a nice little M pattern that formed also on here. And I'm sure a lot of projects all pretty much have that double top for right now playing out. So yeah, DJ, I did see that interview from like years ago that he said Vitalik Ethereum said that ICP would be a direct competition. He actually, when they asked him, they said, what other than Ethereum, what's like another project that you're like intrigued on? And he said, believe it or not, ICP, right? Like that was, when I saw that interview, I was like, damn, because I respect him. He's like, you could see he's just so freaking smart, you know? Amor said, when the crashes like this come, this is when you should be huddling and buying. I agree. Not financial advice. DJ's over here. My boy's bullish on ICP. And bro, if you're bullish, make sure you're already subscribed, but we'll definitely be taking care of or covering ICP. You're probably gonna get me to buy back in, bro. I'm gonna wait a little bit. Like I said, if you know, me personally, I've learned so much patience in crypto that I don't chase shit. So if this, like, you know, I definitely would like to get another bag of ICP. If it does drop down to certain levels that I'm comfortable with, I definitely will be accumulating more ICP. So like I said, I'm looking at $9 or below pretty much for ICP. Oh, over or Seche, my bad. I just seen your question. What do I think about usual? I think it's just, you know, your usual project. Just kidding. I honestly don't know anything about it, bro. It's hard to keep up with everything as of right now. I thinks I likes that chart. That's what I thinks I like. I like that chart, bro. Obviously, this thing just dropped recently. Looks good. No diddy. Jake said during the bear market, how do you know which cryptos to be investing in that will do well in the next cycle? I mean, when you get into the bear market, it's me personally, what I like to accumulate is like utility projects and fundamental projects, usually, right? I will grab like a meme coin, you know, when it freaking bottoms out, you know, but like I like to accumulate, like I said, during this last bear run, I was picking up ICP. I was picking up a lot of Fetch. Those were like my two projects. I'm trying to think if there was other projects. I just can't think of them right now that I you know, went through and sold. But Fetch and ICP were like my big bags that I was just accumulating like crazy, right? You know, I was looking at Fetch and I'm like, dude, 15 cent Fetch, the market cap was at like $200 million at the time. I was like, bro, this is a steal, but it was rough, during the bear market. It was rough, but I had been through it before, right? I've been through it before, and I gone through that situation where it's like it's hard to hit that buy button when just everything's been just crashing for so long. And in this last bear market, it was just like we went through the FTX and all the central exchanges that crashed or that went out of service, or not crashed, but like went out, and basically went bankrupt and all. It was like every week, just over and over and over. So it was so hard to buy, hitting these buy buttons on these prices. But I was like, you know what, crypto is gonna come back, right? And I was like, and if I'm buying in, I'm gonna buy it on a lot of these projects that I believe in, and that was ICP and Fetch particularly. I look back and I'm like, I think I did accumulate a little bit of Ethereum when it dropped to like 900. I don't remember on this run, but like I look back, if the only thing I would have, obviously I would have just bought everything in sight, but like Bitcoin dropping to 15K, I should have bought a whole freaking Bitcoin. Like I that's one thing I look back and I'm like, bro, you should have bought a freaking whole Bitcoin. Not only to say you're a whole coiner, but Bitcoin at freaking 15,500, like you should have done that. So, but yeah, I usually stay with fundamentals and utility, during the bear runs. I'm sorry, during the bear markets. So, but guys, listen, Amor said, looking back, I would have bought MOG at the bottom. We all can say the same thing, right? Looking back, I would have, right? We all would have done. Looking back, I would have bought Bitcoin at $1, right? Jake said, bear market, I would just set automatic reoccurring investment and not even look at the market, honestly. I hear you. I'm more of I like to just I keep an eye on the market all day. You know what I'm saying? I like to just, catch that bottom, no diddy on that one. But I understand that's also another easy way to just kind of not have to deal with the stress, right? So, but guys, listen, I'm going to let you guys go. Before you leave, hold on. Don't click out yet. Hold on. Hit the like. You guys are all subscribed. I do appreciate that. I do check the analytics, and like 90-something% of viewers are all subscribed. I really do appreciate that, guys. I really do. Thank you so much for that. Other than that, guys, listen. Keep your heads up, right? We're going to be all right. We might see a little bit more pain, right? We might see a little bit more pain. I do think, with the holidays coming up in the next few days, and where we're at as far as with the markets, I think we're maybe at the most going to probably see some sideways action. Hopefully we see us run back up to 100K, right? And just stay above 100. That'd be solid. But if we don't, sideways action, volume's probably going to drop down because it's the holidays. A lot of people, other than us crazy crypto people, will kind of, they kind of put the stuff to the side and do their family thing, right? But I think after Christmas, 26 to about the 31st, I'm thinking that's when we're going to see a lot of volatility, not volatility, a lot of volume coming in to the space. And I think it's going to be setting up for 2025, January, the inauguration. I think that's when we're going to start seeing this big pump coming back in my opinion. So we'll see how it plays out, guys. But for now, I think we're going to be okay. I've been just accumulating on projects like I told you guys. I showed you guys at the beginning of the stream, so I'm going to continue to do that if we do see any more dips. But other than that, guys, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys being here. Be safe out there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be back on tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to have an earlier stream, so definitely make sure you hit that bell, that notification, so it just pops up so you don't have to come searching for it. If you miss it, watch it after the fact, right? But we'll be here. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later, all right?